HHDG.
I'm actually surprised by how how much love Steezo is getting.
Word.
Yeah, like my timeline, I got a lot of people actually shouting him out, man, not just in the group and stuff.
Yep.
So I think he was one of those people that kind of like we had kind of a little spot in our hearts for. We didn't realize it till to the last minute.
Yeah, man. Word up. Rest in peace, Steezo. Hip hop legend out here. What up, y'all? It's your boy the mayor, that DJ named Ace 5. Your mom's favorite fat guy from deepest, darkest Africa. A Captain Podcast. And we are back with the newest and latest, freshest episode of HHDG Live, the podcast. As always, I got 3 of the 5 members of HHDG Media on with us tonight.
No doubt.
One in North Carolina. You see the man with the fresh lowercase HHDG shirt. Who you be?
And you know what, Dan, too? Make sure you got the gallery view up.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the phone right now. We gotta do multiple joints right now.
Okay.
Like I said, introduce yourself.
So what up, T Smith, HHDG, 10-year. How many years was I here? At least 10, maybe. No. I wasn't at least 8. I'll give it 8.
Yeah, something close to that. I think you're on around the 6 to somewhere between the 6 to 7 mark.
Yeah, but 30-year television vet, film and television.
Gotcha. And the other member who's been in as long as me, who we've known each other since diapers, we got
Wiki. What's up, man?
What up, y'all? First and foremost, as always, how's everybody's week been going? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, let me tell you about this homeschooling, man.
We ain't got to say much. We already.
Yo, I'm doing like 8-hour runs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, yo.
Having to learn things I don't even know.
Yo, that's Common Core math bullshit.
I don't even know if it's even Common Core. It's just abstract core, hardcore.
Real.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what's going on.
Doing all them extra steps for what?
Yeah, exactly.
Extra steps, man. Listen, yo, it's so dumb. It's like Jimmy had 5 apples. David had 5 apples. How many apples do they have if they put it all together? Write it out and explain how you got that answer. Like, motherfucker, I added 5 plus 5. And then that's not even a good enough answer to these people.
Yep.
You gotta do a diagram of the Vultures man or whatever the hell it's called. You have to put the 3 over here and then put the 5 up over here and calculate these 2 for the 2 over here.
Yo, it makes absolutely no sense sometimes. I just sit back and I be looking at this shit and it's like, yo, like this should be killing me. Like it just makes no sense to the degree that they fucking that they go, the depth that they go.
Right.
It's like if they're trying to teach critical thinking, to me, that ain't it.
No.
Like that's kind of what it's looking like to me. Like that's a method of critical thinking, I guess, or just try to think in another level, and that ain't it. Like that just I get thinking other ways, but like why am I explaining to you how simple 1 plus 1 is? Like what we're just explaining 1 plus 1. It's 2, motherfucker. Like why gotta be 2? And I went to the store to get this one part, and then I walked down to the Staten Island Ferry, got the other one. We met in Jersey Street and Richmond Terrace and put them together, and that's how I got 1 plus 1. Like, like that's the explanation they want.
Shit that you'll never ever do in your life.
For real. That's the killer part.
Let me ask y'all, like, out of now, we older cats now, like, out of everything you learned in school, what percentage of stuff you use from school in your life throughout your last 20 years?
Ian, you might be better off than me with this one.
Well, yeah, Ian's a genius. Us laymen, So,
answer that, Ian, because like I said, me, I'm in a living room where I pick up garbage, so.
You said what?
What percentage of what you've learned in school? Let's even just talk about mathematics. Let's not talk about math, but just in general.
Yeah.
How much of what you learned in school, all them classes you went through, the history, the Spanish, you know what I'm saying, the math, all them different subjects and this and that, exponential this and this and that. How much have you used in your life now as an adult?
I'd probably say like 30-40%, somewhere around there.
So that's 60% of other stuff they could have been teaching us to get us prepared for life, like credit, how to own a business, taxes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even more. What's the sex ed?
Well, that was the 1 day class that we needed a permission slip for.
Yeah.
Remember that? To show us a video of some fucking white bread Christians that have sex through the pee hole of they fucking underwear and shit. It's literally what they showed us on tape. Meanwhile, we was at home already in our mother and our father's fucking VHS stash, looking at hot chocolate and sorority sweethearts, and those are my first two, by the way.
Yeah. So it's Thursday. What's the deal? How the group been doing? What's been popping with the group?
The group has been pretty tame thus far. I think. I know a lot of the hot topics. Well, we talked about the French thing last week, I believe, right?
Yeah, I brought it back up yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I know this week has been. I seen things like shout outs to Face Mob. He was asking about the whole he tried to make a description about having hits, and that counts in your your history as being an artist. And the way the post went, to me, it read like in sports when people do ring counting and trying to establish that counting rings determines your greatness.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It doesn't. Because I'll go simple. I'll go real simple. Inspect the Deck. One of the greatest MCs that's been out, that doesn't get a lot of props, is still putting out dope work. Big ups to like his Czarface projects and all that stuff. Even all the solo albums that he put out over the years, right? He might not get the same, well, he doesn't get the same pub as, say, let's go with French and keep it at French. French got a ton of radio hits, this, that, and the third, but isn't nearly as good of an MC as Inspect the Deck ever was. Not even close. But you're going to hold his hits up in super high regard. Now, yes, it's a part of the man's history, but where I tied it to ring counting in sports was, you can't tell me that Dan Marino, one of the league's greatest quarterbacks ever, who've never won a Super Bowl, is not better than Trent Dilfer, who won a Super Bowl, who was a half-ass quarterback and won that Super Bowl off the back of a great defense in the Baltimore Ravens the year 2000, who is not going to go down as an NFL Hall of Famer. He's just going to go down as a guy who got a ring.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Or even say same thing in basketball. Like Adam Morrison got 3 rings in the NBA. 3 riding the bench. Or even better, people like to discredit Robert Ory. Robert Ory got 7 rings. But he was called Big Shot Bob for a reason, because he was one of those guys who was integral in capping off games with the last shot.
Yeah.
Well,
Bring this back to hip hop though.
Let's say Big Shot Bob is better than Patrick Ewing, who got no rings, Hall of Famer, top 50 player all time. No, and so that's why it's like the conversation of having hits over being a dope MC is kind of skewed in there's some translation lost in that conversation, because if you're just banking on hits, like, are you really looking at a person's skill set too?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, Ian.
See, I mean, MC Hammer had hits. What's the name? Milli Vanilli had hits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know, what does that mean, really? It depends on the context of the conversation we have. To go specifically to the and not to hijack before we even got to the first topic, but to go back to the French and Kendrick conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, the specific word in that whole conversation is festival. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We're not saying the word concert. We're saying festival. You get what I'm saying? So yes, French got hits. I'm not denying he even got some world hits. He could rock a show in Africa. He could rock, Europe and stuff like that. But when you talk about like a, Coachella, I went to Summer Jam. I seen French tear it up. And I still wouldn't have think that he would have been a headliner on that level. And then, I've been to festivals and, I just don't think French has the content that the festival crowd wants to sit there with. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
He had tearing up at Summer Jam.
You froze.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this storm is bad over here. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
Yeah, but yeah, so you could chime in on that, but I don't want to cut your flow on.
It's really nah, because it's. I mean, for what was said, I mean, it's the truth. Like, you mentioned Summer Jam. Summer Jam, in some respects, is a fairly niche market because one, they're going on after the crowd that listens to their radio station. They, and is going there specifically to see that style of stuff. Also, two, hometown biased. French is a Bronx cat.
Yeah.
You're talking about Hot 97, New York radio station that happens to be, US wide right now via like syndication, YouTube, and all that good stuff. But you're asking for him to say really grab, like, just say in the country, say at LA, where LA might know his hits.
But like, are they following a storyline? Are they following a narrative?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was French going on the stage, and from the first drop of the beat to that closing when he's like, walking out, the crowd is cheering. Is it a full narrative that happens? Because from my whole thing going to festivals and stuff, these artists come with their gimmicks and they come with their whole thing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying he doesn't do it, because I only seen him at Summer Jam. I never seen French at like too many other places. So I'm not gonna assume that he doesn't, but I mean, his content can only get you but so far when you talk about art.
Right.
And I don't want to downplay what by saying art.
Okay.
Like, his stuff ain't art too, because he has some very artistic stuff. Like I said, he got world stuff. He got stuff in Africa that be popping. He could probably rock in South Africa better than Kendrick.
Well, he's African, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we talking context of what type of concept, but when you say the word festival over concert, those are two different universes.
Yeah. No, I get it, and it's like you said. It's when you get to a festival, you're getting a wider variety of fan, and of fan interaction. Summer Jam, they're going, like I said, Summer Jam, they're going for a specific thing. Festival, they're going. Yeah.
You ever been to Summer Jam?
I've still never been to
and that's not even a diss to Summer Jam. It just is what it is. Like, Summer Jam is the hoodest shit you ever go in, the largest facility that you ever been.
I've heard. I've never been, but I've heard.
It's a 50,000 seat club.
Yeah, and
You know
that's
what I'm
that's
saying?
the vibe and the environment that they look for, because that's what they're going there for. So it's, but it is what it is with that, man.
Yes, sir.
We got move on. We got last week we forgot to play artist submitted music.
Okay.
And big ups to this cat WoodshelM. I think that's how it's pronounced. He wrote it down. It says WoodshelM. So I guess it's WoodshelM. Sounds very Allah Wakbar ish. But I got a joint queued up. Let me just pull it up on the screen. And we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna play it. We're gonna let y'all hear it. We're gonna sound off on it. This is the first joint that he gave called this is the first joint in the list of songs that he gave. We promised to play 2 songs, generally from 2 different artists. He's the only one who submitted as of late, so we're gonna play 2 of his tracks. And this is Vultures. Let's get into it.
Vultures. I was at the bottom full of problems, but these problems ain't gonna stop me now. Mask and gloves, I'ma find a way to get it. Whether scamming, running up a spots. Dirty bastard, acting bastard, pray for me. Mama grievance, cause she love a child. Basically, I'm stubborn like my daddy be. Not a devil seed, but a majesty. On the track with these competition, I destroy them now. Tragically, everybody fool to me. TGI of Mickey D's, Applebee's. Fast food. I done made it like I'm Talladega, Ricky Bobby shaking bacon now. Not complacent with the bread I'm making. Need a toaster, butter, knife, glove, and towel. Fuck a critic, they can suck a dick. Shit is surgical and clinic bitches now. Head on a swivel, knock me off my pivot. That ain't happening, you wish it pal. See these vultures up above me, they ain't coming down till they see a nigga down. Vultures.
Yo, his name is Vultures.
That's the name of the track is Vultures.
Track, yeah.
Okay. I can't see the whole words down here. So what's his name? WoodshelM?
WoodshelM.
WoodshelM?
Yeah, when I play the next one, I'll have the screen up a little better, man. But first thoughts on that track, man. What do y'all think, Ian? Since you came back out of I would say Facebook frozen jail, even though we're not on there. What's your
I'm Ian is so eclectic, man. Like he's the master of dropping all that new music. So I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I listened to it when you first sent it to us. The track has a very nice cinematic sound to it, and straight out he just comes and delivers right from the floor. And I like the visuals that came with it, especially with the black and white like that.
Yeah. Yo, not for nothing. I'm a visual guy, video, and if you look at a lot of my first videos with like back early on, independent days and stuff like that look is kind of what I was mastering back then. 2008, 2009. So yeah, I was feeling nostalgic watching it. I mean, is this official video or is it a freestyle video?
It looks like an official video, if you ask me. It looks pretty official, and again, visual wise, I like you. I dig them.
Yeah,
visuals dig them. Yeah, I dig them.
So
nice simple video. Nothing. Nothing
yeah. I mean, if now
it the visuals fit the content too.
Yeah.
Visuals fit the content, like with the wordplay about vultures coming down, everybody's food brings up the restaurants with the Applebee's, Mickey D's, and all that stuff. So, I mean, he sent us 5 joints.
Mm-hmm.
I've dug everything. We're not gonna play them all, but he's somebody that I could definitely revisit, in my opinion.
Can I put a last word on that? And before we move on,
lyrics is there, flows is there, you know, and the visuals again. Us two, especially being visual guys, like and
that's what I want to make a final point before we move to the next one. Right is if I was a marketing director, I wouldn't like this video, and I'll tell you why I say that. And I'm only giving constructive criticism, I'm not trying to break it down.
That's what we here for.
But if I was a marketing director, you don't see his face ever, so. What I would do, because you could still do this, is like, for example, if this video was a tie-in to a marketing campaign, like, who is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's this guy? Boom, boom. And they, you know, and they worked that out. Maybe dropped another one where he was like, drop another video, something like that, and drop it a dope ass freestyle. It's like, yo, who this dude? Who's this dude? Who's this dude? And build up to a point where now the next video, the third video, you see who he is or whatever. But the thing about it is, I don't have no imprint of him.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
This is no like first video out off the album type of joint.
Yeah, and I'm saying that respectfully and you know, critically, is like I don't have no, outside of the name on the YouTube video, I don't have no imprint of who this dude is, because I never see his eyes, I never saw his face. You know what I'm saying? But tracks are dope. The lyrics was dope. Track was dope. So yeah, the music lovers got, you know, they delve into that boom boom, and then the moderate level to higher up, they're not gonna imprint on their brain.
But
I might be
if you look at it again though. This is where you were on the insides of places I've never been. Pause. But so I can't talk on that level. But when you look at that video again in these times, he had the mask over the face. People are gonna respect that because of where we're at right now.
But see, that all I'm saying is that's an opportunity to, if he tied all of that in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Then it wouldn't all make sense.
Right.
I mean, honestly, if he called it the Corona rap, or he, you know what I'm saying, said,
yeah, but you don't want to be hacky like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if he
done before that,
added some link
or
to wearing the mask because of the days, context. He would have got even more, and he still can't. Just about changing the name and changing the captions and stuff.
Right. Like it could have felt like it could have felt like there was. You could say that there was somewhat of a lack of context with the whole look in imagery, but I think the context was there. But I am with you though on a selling.
I'm just a visual dude. So,
on a selling point, it's different.
Yeah,
it's different, and I'm with you on that. If you're trying to sell yourself off of this one, maybe that one is not it on the selling aspect of it. So I feel you on that one. But let's move on to the next one. The joint is called Nobody. It says directed by Playoff Freeze. Let's check this one out. Get this shit rolling, right?
WoodshelM.
Esa clase, papá. Yo, dímelo, loco.
I need to know where you found the whole ass phone.
Claro que sí. Bon, ma vin pil pase en Washington Heights, cuñe. Nigga, paso por aquí, yo, ven, métele mano. Okay. Lape. H. Yeah.
Where you from, Dan?
I think it's from the Heights.
Yeah. Nigga, let's go. Yeah. I'm feeling myself. Nobody want you. Let me get into this. Ripping like a loose leaf, fly like a stewardess. Yeah, I'm moving 2 speeds, fast like a floozy, and slow like syrup in a cup up a beat. In your company, son, a lot of niggas and button them in they onesies. Nobody gave me the track and second to it, so I struck it like a body. Got in the booth. Damn, this a masterpiece. say the least. Remember playing make-believe, now they believe in me. Give them that pure medicine on every beat, cause I'm a beast. Fire to say the least. Haters, they wish me dead. It's genocide when I speak. Got tentacles from my reach. Pop Adderall and some E. I'm lying, but I'm a drug to your system. Wanna see, just try me. Whoa. I got these haters knocking at my door. I guess they don't want a nigga to blow. Nobody go to me, then I shine. You fucking haters can't block my grind. Nobody go to me, then I'm you niggas is nothing. I'm getting mine. Nobody go to me, nigga. Let's go. Spit medulla, slick break the ruler. Pimp limp, I walk like my dick's a ruler. Switch cockroaches and I eat your food up. Put your soul on ice and make it cough in the cooler. Read them as dead rights and get a priest. David Blaine with the pen. You lame niggas if I aim this. Hey man, I'm scorching times 10. Sleep on a bed of nails, cause I'm living on the edge. They set you up to fail, pairing me against them. I squish niggas for real, staring at their brain stems. Get a crook in your neck from these crooks in the jet. See the jokes be alive, need to watch where you step. Survival of the fittest, get your Bibles and your pen and somebody go on the hill. I probably go to sleep. I guess they don't want a nigga to blow. Nobody go to me, then I shine. You fucking haters can't block my grind. Nobody go to me, then I'm you niggas is nothing. I'm getting mine. Nobody go to me, nigga. Let's go.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, that joint was hard too, man. Like that.
Yeah, and I like it.
That one, that joint right there.
I got 50 vibes from them.
Yeah, that was first thought right away when I heard that. I just enjoyed it more than a 50 record. That's just me.
Yeah,
but,
honestly.
But you know, no shots.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah, no shots of 50. I just was never into 50 like that.
yeah, same here. I
was
respect
never
him
into 50
1,000% over, man.
Yeah.
Because he's done some remarkable things in the culture. Just musically, he wasn't for me. But this cat WoodshelM, I mean, and we heard the pronunciation of the name in the track. It was it was dope. It was another dope joint, man. Like if it felt like it was just like a freestyle kind of thing. The video was that classic freestyle kind of just, you know, it wasn't like it was thrown together. I'm not trying to say that about the video. It just had that, like, you know, just basic street vibe. I love the bar with the whole, you know, I son him, put him in onesies. That joint was dope. The only two things I have is one, when he was sitting on the bench, he had a little bit of weight on them bars. That's number one. Number two, I only wish that somebody with a deeper voice was on the hook. That's it. That's honestly, that's the only, and it's not even a flaw. It's just again, critique.
Gotcha.
Somebody with a deeper voice, or if the engineer mixed his voice to sound a little deeper, I think it would have that hook would have hit differently. But again, flows, lyrics, it gave me an early 2000s vibe of, you know, this is mixtape on the tables with the Africans type of joint. Like this was some joint that just like, it was like go spit and knock it out. And he did that. And big ups to WoodshelM from me, man. Like he gave me a vibe that I could check him out again. And then in the beginning, like I was trying to, it was like, is he Dominican? Is he Haitian? Like he might be.
Yeah, I thought he was Haitian at first.
It's the same island. And it looked like the engineer that he was talking to on the phone, which again, where they get them old ass phones from is the question. But it was like, yo, one was almost like speaking like half Spanish, half, you know, New York fucking Spanish. And he was speaking that like somewhat Haitian Creole kind of, they would communicate, like the way they made it communicate was like, yo, like, I mean, the island is one island with two countries separate, and they made them come together. And we all know the beef between Haitians and Dominicans, so you know that it was dope. Like the way it's set off like that, like on some. I wish I understood what they were saying, with you know, language wise, but you know, it just all fit. It all fit everything about the vibe of it. My critiques are in there. Whoever wants to take it, go ahead.
Shout out to the weed smokers.
Word up. That was definitely like a cruise in the car and light one up type of joint too.
Yeah, exactly.
Ian, the real A&R of this chat.
I actually prefer that it wouldn't have that hook like that, because the way its delivery was, if it was just continuous, it just seemed like it would have hit a little bit harder.
Right, and maybe leave the hook for the end to close out the song. Yeah. The only other thing too with those two videos, if they faded out and not left so much an instrumental on the ends also, because if those were original beats, here's a tip for y'all. If those were original beats,
somebody will snatch some samples.
Exactly. Chop them up, and niggas know how to loop perfectly nowadays.
Remix your shit, make it sound better than yours.
So if that was a goal, so be it. If that was a goal of yours, so be it. You know, a lot of producers like when their shit is opened up, to freestyle.
Yeah.
But you don't want nobody to steal your shit like that. And I would say, on a producer mind, both of those beats weren't truly like sample worthy, like to go steal and try to re-chop and refix and all that. It wasn't that much. But if you don't want nobody else rapping over your shit without coming to you, you got to either drop samples or cut the video a little shorter. Let it run for 20, 25 seconds, not a whole minute. Because that whole minute can get chopped. The minute here, that minute becomes 2 minutes. That minute becomes a whole 4-minute joint for somebody else. You'd rather somebody come to you like an alchemist, and instead of allowing the Raz track, the Razcast, we gonna make it come out first. You give it to the Locks, and then the Locks joint comes out first, overshadowing the Razcast joint, which I prefer the Razcast joint. But I digress. That's a little hip hop history that y'all can go dig into.
Nice. All right. So salute to that dude, man.
Big up.
Is he in the group?
I would. He saw the announcement. That's the only way you can see the announcement, is being a member of HHDG. All right. Which we got a lot of people at the door. We're going to talk about that a little later. Maybe I'll hit y'all up tomorrow. We got to work that out. But I'm sure he's a member of the group. Hopefully he's seeing this. If somebody could tag him, let him know, man. We big him up. The kid is dope. I can't front. He was dope. It's good to hear. I mean, we all New Yorkers, so it was also dope to hear that New York sound. Not it's never left, so we can't say it's coming back from somewhere it never left. But it was dope to hear that New York sound of this era. So, too, side note, he did give us full permission and clearance in our email as requested. So thank you for following that instruction too. So please, Facebook or whatever, don't block that music.
Yeah, and I mean, it's on YouTube anyway, man.
He given us written permission to play the music.
Yeah, it's on YouTube anyway, so it's...
true indeed, but still, it's a YouTube joint.
So let me take this second to tell everybody, man, hit that market space up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Summer's getting warm. Summer's getting out. We got t-shirts on there. We probably not gonna have a get together this year, so unfortunately, but we used to see HHDG at the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival. Yeah, but the t-shirts.
Let's talk about that for a quick second, man.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival is no more.
Done.
It's done.
Over. Done. My son got baptized by KRS-One at the second one. Like, I have memories, like deep-seated memories at the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival. With y'all, all of us getting together for all the years that we did it. That was our annual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
That
was my Father's Day gift every year.
Yeah, man. So, shout out to Wes. He had a good run.
Yep.
Wes has always been a good homie. But I guess, sponsorships and costs and all that other stuff probably just kind of did it all in, just like it did with Rock the Bells. Yeah. And
let's say too, I mean, perfect timing, unfortunately, but perfect timing before all this Corona shit happened, and that could have been the deciding factor. They didn't allow the virus to be the thing to stop him.
Did he cancel it? But did he cancel it around the time?
Oh, no.
I felt like he canceled it way before.
Way before it hit here, and they started shutting down. Well, like no, it was here.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't before when the president got his early warnings back in November and December last year. Let's keep that clear. But it was I think sometime in like January or February.
You just drop something.
It was like sometime in January or February we all got the emails, and it was a little heartbreaking, but it was just like everything's got to go eventually.
Yeah, something else come up. This is the question though: will there be another hip hop festival to replace that? What other hip hop festivals New York have? I'm not talking about Afro Punk or Summer Jam.
Look at your shirt. I said, look at your shirt.
Oh yeah, of course.
We can be that change.
And I mean, we did. Let's not even talk like we didn't. We did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like same thing West kind of came into is you know, space, location, you know, just the whole idea of putting the stuff together with, you know, sponsorships and all that. It's a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work.
Agreed.
Just for the record, we did 2 years. We had the Brooklyn Renaissance Festival in East New York on Picking and Berryman specifically. We had a lot. Second year, Simone was one of the headliners next to Talib Kweli. Let me tell y'all real quick about that day that I probably even expressed to y'all is that I always wanted to do a festival, right? And I saw the Dave Chappelle block party. Me and my son's mother at the time, we were at the Dave Chappelle block party. We went. We was getting in, and it was raining, so we left. And that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. Right? So you know, the movies and that's it. And then I saw Talib. One of my favorite parts in that is Talib doing Get By. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just one of my favorite parts of that movie. Is like it was just the energy, everything, boom, boom. And I always had this dream of doing my own little Dave Chappelle block party. And so that's what the Brooklyn Renaissance Festival was. And what happened? I only hired him just to DJ.
Right.
What did he wind up doing?
I could explain that one because I was on stage right next to him
helping him out.
Because KB didn't show up yet, and KB had the equipment to use the Serato Scratch Live at the time. The DJ that was there had a board that only worked with Serato Intro, which is I just bought this. Here's the free version of Serato to tempt you in to pay for the full one. It didn't connect with Scratch Live. So we was up there trying to find drivers and everything and all that. And he was supposed to mix. And in Scratch Live, unlike Scratch DJ or Tractor, you can't set up the two turntables set and just mix from the laptop. You have to use a control or turntables or something. So he just said, you know what, fuck it, and started throwing on some of his own joints. Yeah. And performed. And
he did. And what song did he do? He did Get By. Yep. So that was a moment for me. Right in East New York, where I was from. Yep. 5 minutes away, right at the C train stop was right there on the corner. Shepherd Avenue stop right there. So I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know about East New York. East New York is the hood. Out of New York, Brownsville, East New York. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's other parts. I'm not saying everybody won't, but that side, the east part of Brooklyn is Brownsville, East New York, Canarsie, Bushwick. You understand what I'm saying? In the middle of that, we had this big multicultural solar powered. Specifically, we had a solar trailer come out, open up with the cells, and that's what powered the entire festival the whole day. The first to ever do it in Brooklyn, hip hop music arts festival. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And HHDG was a main part of that. So shout out to the group. We did it. We just got to continue to do it again. Let's start getting help from like the group members. It takes financial backings. I know there's people in this group on the low that know people with money, sponsors, and all that might want to do that. We got a good following. We got analytics.
All right. Well, first and foremost, we got to lay the groundwork for that. And little that people knew, from back in the day. This is 2014. I was building an event, purely hip hop event.
Yeah, talk about all the events you did, man.
Well, I didn't do this one.
Mm-hmm.
This was because what we mentioned before. We're talking about cost. We're talking about finances and stuff.
Yeah.
Once I realized that this shit was going to get way out of my reach, initially I had to scrap it. But I put everything on hold. I dug back in my computer maybe last week, and I told you I was going to get back to y'all that I had the rules and information written. I still have all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Style Wars, where it was going to, this is the plan that's going to eventually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be a multi-day event where it would be DJ battle, MC battle, B-boy battle, rap battle, tournaments to happen at different locations. I wanted to be different locations in different boroughs, all to culminate in one spot. And at that last night would be, a couple performances from special guests and the finals of each individual thing. So the last two in the DJ battle, the last two MCs go head to head. The last pieces of the graph battle, it would be come display the art and vote on it during the entire event. And such and so on. B-boy event, same thing, B-boy, B-girl. And I still have that crafted up. So that's something that we as HHDG can eventually work on. I still got the contracts I wrote that can just be fixed and reworded. I got the rules and descriptions, waivers. I still got all that shit written up.
So, I mean, 2021, what's up? We dropping something. We put something out in the universe right here.
All it takes is to press the play button and let's go. Honestly, and just a commitment, because I tried to tackle it by myself at first, which I could have done. I have the full confidence and capabilities, I believe, to have pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
But to truly not have had the buzz to try to pull it off in the short time I tried to pull it off, one, wouldn't work. Two, financially wasn't there. And three, what stopped it all, to be honest with you, I got connected with one person. I got connected with one person who was a promoter at the spot. I think it was called SRB. It's I know it's somewhere by like Hamilton Ave. It was right across the street from two sanitation garages that are off of Hamilton Avenue. It's like a block. I think it's on 2nd or right a block off of 3rd Ave. Right by that little junction there where the the Gowanus part of the BQE goes, like right by the pretty much right across the street from Red Hook, where Jetro is and all that. It was in that area. The guy never got back to me about that space because that's where I wanted to have the final joint at.
Yeah.
Never got back to me, and I'm not the person to hound somebody. I don't want to be annoying. If you want to work with me, you should be able to want to communicate back and forth. You shouldn't have to be up and down your neck. I called the guy 2 or 3 times. Then it became no answers or phone calls or texts. So I just said, you know what? I see this is not moving. Venues are hard to come by for hip hop events in New York City, still to this day.
Yeah.
And then too, it is money. I couldn't take away the money from the family that easily. Though I thought I had enough set up on the side, but you can't take the money out of the family that easy for something that no guarantee in working. And yeah, I didn't see it going further than the concept that I built. So just smartly had to just tuck it to the side and let it be for now. And it is what it is. But like I said, never deleted anything just in case. Because I said, okay, this ain't happening now, but it can happen later. And that's where we're at with that.
Let's put it together, man. I mean, there's like I said, we got a group full of, one day we're gonna really like gather the talents of this group.
Yep.
We got engineers, we got fiber optic, whoever these dudes, you know what I'm saying? We got more than just rappers and MCs and DJs.
Yep. It's a true cultural effort. And that's what you know, when it comes to talking and discussing in the group, that's one of the things that people forget. A lot of people are just there for the music, just there for rappers, but forget that this is hip hop culture. This isn't just rap music. This is hip hop culture. And you know, us three here, but you know, we are some that remind. I mean, Ian does the most reminding with his post and tagging. It's like,
yo, I mean, so look at it. Like Ian does the Wednesdays, right? So we got the graffiti. Not for not Giovanni be dropping all the
B-boy stuff,
the b-boy stuff constantly. So think about if he wasn't dropping as much b-boy stuff that he was dropping. That
and we set these days up. We set these days up years ago.
Yeah.
I think that was not taking full credit, but I know that was another one of those. Like, yo, I said let's start these kind of theme days. Ian is the one person that actually keeps up with them. Technique Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Like that, you know. But enough of that. We here with the group. The episode's name, Labels. Part of the discussion I wanted to have with y'all was hoping somebody, maybe, you know, a couple of y'all wanted to chime in. We only got a couple people watching right now because we need to do a better job in promoting a little ahead of time. Plus, I had computer troubles. My bad.
It'll work itself out as long as we're consistent.
It will. But we wanted to talk about labels, man, and it was just a thought. Like, yo, like, okay, we know Def Jam is like the gods of this when it comes to the music level and who's been in their roster in and out, from Jay-Z to LL being one of the first to Red, Meth, freaking just, I mean, we could go on and on, you know, freaking Onyx, DMX, you know, so many artists we could
Nikki D, who's in the group.
Word up, big ups. But outside of them, man, like, who was some of the best hip hop, rap music,
Loud,
and who would you say had some of the best rosters? Ian, you go first.
Best rosters?
Pick one.
Well, he said, one of the things I was thinking was Loud, but I'm not even I wouldn't even say them right now. You already said it.
Nah, take it, man.
Take it.
No.
Loud.
We got the same sensibility, man.
Loud is one of the GOATs for real.
Yeah.
Priority.
Yeah, Priority.
Well, I'm saying, well, I mean, when we go around and mention, like, you know, what were some of the artists that you would say had the best roster for Loud to have been one of the best rosters?
I mean, Loud. All right, so we you know, you mentioned Def Jam. Def Jam was the Def Jam jacket in the streets that you wanted so bad, but never knew how to get it.
Right.
You would see people in the city walk around Def Jam jackets. You'd be like, wow, what the hell is that? So Def Jam was a culture for sure. Not to say the other labels wasn't, but like Loud was like Loud. If you talk about true New York hip hop, Loud is a staple of that.
Absolutely.
Like if you really break it down from Mob to you know what I'm saying, everybody else that was on that, like from Woo. I mean, even the Alcoholics was on Loud, right?
I believe so. Was Pun on Loud too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pun was on Loud, right?
Yeah. So if you look at the catalog of Loud records, compared to Tommy Boy, compared to Def Jam, you know, I don't even want to put Bad Boy in that time yet, but like if you look at them and Priority and Delicious Vinyls and Raucous, you know, Loud had this thing. It was just like it was the New York like roster,
right?
You know what I'm saying? To me, I can only give my opinion, but I just know if you look at it, like from every borough, even in outside of New York, they still got the same caliber of hood hard hood beats. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. That's my
Loud.
opinion.
Yeah, Loud was. I mean, Loud. In my opinion, shit, Loud could have been a giant still to this day. Who knows?
That catalog gotta still like. That catalog still gotta like worth something. I think.
Making somebody some money somewhere still.
Yeah, I think what's the name?
Loud
Just
had one of the greatest rosters ever. Like I said, from Wu
yeah,
to Pun to
Steve Rifkin was just a Steve Rifkin, right? Yeah, he was just a laid back dude. Like whereas like Russell was the the top of the pyramid of what entrepreneurial label hip hop was, and then Jay-Z followed after that. But like Tommy Boy was like weirdos.
Well, we could go. We could go to Tommy Boy next. Tommy Boy, at the time, was one of the greatest. Even though we gotta say fuck Tommy Boy because of what they've been doing to De La as of recently, we don't know where they're standing right now as far as getting their music back. But yeah, I mean, Tommy Boy had De La, Jungle Brothers. What they had? Did they have Tribe for a little bit too, or no? Tribe.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's a good question.
In that realm, if you want to go the abstract route, like they had that. But then when you think in future lens to understand that, like the label owner was literally like one of those that when we talk about people who rob and steal from the industry that don't give a fuck about the industry, that's the fucked up end about Tommy Boy. But they had an ill roster of music that, it in some respects, like I said, because of what they do to De La, as far as the whole streaming thing is concerned as of late, as how I've broken down the streaming thing on here before. Streaming platforms don't pay.
Yeah.
They don't pay. It's almost
you gotta get like 1 million streams just to make like a G or something like that on YouTube or something.
It's still ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. And for them to screw De La the way they wanted to, I mean, one side is like, unfortunately, it's business, but two, come on, these dudes hit 30 years in the game. Like, show some love.
It's money, man.
But it's right.
Them dudes' religion is money.
Absolutely.
Their religion specifically is money. You understand what I'm saying? So, they all them head dudes and stuff like that, they was culture and money. They have a fiscal responsibility.
Right.
Focus on the money first. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's like how you described last week with the insides of MTV. At the time, in the era you were there, like
it's here we are bringing, like, there's a lot of us that come in those buildings with our ideas, with our with us, the culture all wrapped on us. You know what I'm saying? We come and they bring us in these buildings because we're in these positions in the culture and stuff like that. I'm just talking about the general culture of hip hop in the capitalistic media system, right? So they say, oh, that person's popping, they got some things, let's bring them in, have them produce stuff, let's have them, like I said, MTV had Desus and Mero, people from Hot Podcast, they all bring them in. But then when they bring them in, they make the decision to make them what they want them to be.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? No, just if that person raised to the point that they got your attention and they have their status and their social value and all that stuff within a culture, why would you bring them into your system and then change their whole shit up?
Let's put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in that to continue on the labels real quick. Because that's a discussion.
That's what labels do.
We'll save that one for next week because there is a big discussion to have in that because, we on the level of the artist development thing. I was talking about that. I was talking about that in contrast to how people think in the NFL about the quarterback position. People think if you get drafted high, you're supposed to start now. Instead of drafting quality talent letting them learn and cultivate on your bench, then put them in. So there will be quality talent for a long career.
Got it.
Same thing with the music industry where they got rid of artist development. And it's now a matter of come in and give us the following you built. And we'll pay you off the following you built. But we're going to make money off of everything you've done by way of the following you built. So we'll leave that there to frame that there. We're going to go ahead forward with that. Ian, what's the next label you want to bring up? Well, actually, T, you bring up a label because we brought up, it's your turn.
Let's say Death Row. I mean, let's go to the West. We ain't even, I'm Death Row. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was almost, at the time, it was almost like the Def Jam of the West. Dr. Dre, Snoop, Pac, Dog Pound at one time. Like, they just had a string of guys that just couldn't miss. Couldn't miss.
Yeah, Death Row had they run. See, those are the obvious answers, though. Bad Boy,
right.
Death Row. But like when we talking about like we talk about them foundational years of the golden era and stuff like that. It wasn't about Bad Boy and Death Row and all that stuff. It was about these. I guess you could kind of say they were on the caliber of boutique labels of sort. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Def Jam was the Abercrombie and Fitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Tommy Boy was like, the hype beast spot. But, when hype beast was brand new, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I would,
that might be a stretch, but
you know what though? To move on, if you want to claim hype beast and where the hype beast frame came from, I got to go to Raucous Records. And Raucous, I mean, this is definitely me and Ian's. I know this is your area too, but this is like, I mean, who didn't Raucous have at one time? From most to Talib to freaking, damn it, man, like Company Flow. No, Company Flow is Def Jux. Def Jux is another label that I would want to bring up within this. Their roster was small, but they didn't have much, but to me, it was all bangers. Shout outs to Cannibal Ox and but Raucous just had too many people. I mean, who else? Damn, Ian, you would know more. I'm just drawing blanks right now, but
yeah, I'm just thinking. Shaddam Sadiq, I think, was on there for me.
Yep. Wasn't like Consequence and Wordsworth and them cats on there for a little bit too?
Yep, they were on there too. Yeah.
I mean, I want to throw in another label.
Go right ahead.
Duck Down.
Oh.
Yeah. Still running.
I say this, and I'm only saying this as a dude that born and raised in Brooklyn, East New York specifically.
Say it.
Duck Down Records has when you talk about hip hop as a whole, I know I'm making a strong statement right now, but when you talk about hip hop as a whole, Duck Down Records has the most authentic Brooklyn sound ever created in hip hop. As a catalog, as a unit. You understand what I'm saying? You want to talk about the authentic Brooklyn sound outside of maybe Primo, and even Primo still kind of got his, because he wasn't originally from Brooklyn. But I mean, like, Duck Down has the most authentic Brooklyn sound ever created, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, just from Duck Down created the term backpack rap, just literally by Buckshot wearing a backpack in the video. And his style, his flow, fucking Evil D as a DJ. I mean, dude is incredible. Drew Ha being not being a guest, being certified.
We ought to do a show on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's wait till we like really get this going. We need to do a guest. What is a guest in hip hop?
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that too. But
OGC.
OGC. I mean, you want to talk about this like dudes that sound like young little pickpocket niggas, but it was nice, like them. Then you got fucking Ruck and Rock, who Rock got that, you know, the Monster Man, that monstrous voice in that laugh, and sound like the dude that would truly rob you type of cat.
Yeah.
And then Sean P, who was just that
Sean P.
I will punch you in your face type of cat. Who the one time I've met him on like a yo, what's up? I'm a big fan, love your shit type of joint. Dude was literally about the same height and stuff as me. He wasn't that big, but his persona, even just stepping to him, like I jumped off the side of a garbage truck while I was going and doing baskets on the 4 to 12 shift one night. The last time I seen him in person, he was doing a show across the street at Le Poisson Rouge. It was on Bleecker Street. And dude was just cool, chill, didn't, you know, fuck out of here, dirty garbage man, none of that. Like, nah, yo, word up, thank you, peace, you know, all that good shit. Like, even when I met him at Rocksteady anniversary, when he was on his Brokest Rapper You Know shit, like, he was very personable. And then, too, to grow to watch his career go and to see how much of a family man he was with his daughters, shit like that, like that connected with me. And then just lyrically, the dude was a monster. Yeah. You know, it was a monster. And then how could we not mention? There was no way I was gonna forget Smith and Wesson. Them brothers wrote anthems. That was
like, I don't
Soundboy Burial to this day. Yes, she's still doing the blunt roll and dance like this.
Yo, let me tell you, man. Duck Down had me. I used to have dreads. Duck Down had me go buy a pair of women's fatigue pantyhose, cut the top off, put a little thing on it, and wrap my dreads in that thing. And we was walking around East New York like with that on. Like anything fatigue that can be manipulated to be worn a certain way, different than just a regular fatigue, we was doing that. And like I said, I had dreads, so it was like, man, I was doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we could talk about them on that influence too. Just like again, backpacks, fucking high tech boots, like fucking shit. Like I mean, even like Vasquez boots, shit like that. Like
Vasquez boots.
Those dudes, we could, in some, not fully credit, but in some respects credit them for us wearing Timberlands.
Jan Sports.
You know, we can truly credit them for a lot of shit that goes on.
All right, so if you're saying, but what about, I feel like Jersey, for some odd reason, influenced Tim's just as much.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying. That's
Redman and
that's why I said we can't give them the full credit.
Yeah. But no. I'm just saying, from a Brooklyn head walking around East New York, those are the dudes that I was like. And I actually did a video. I did my first music video. Had Top Dog in it. It was in '95. We shot it on 16 millimeter film. This group called The Dungeon from East New York, and he came, did a cameo and stuff like that. So like we was in the middle of boot camp vibe, walking around Brooklyn at the time. So I'll never forget it, man. Right. That's another thing we should talk about at some point too, like vibe. Not to be super, not to be super, but like to really define what vibe is. You know what I'm saying? Like we go all that backpacker era back when the people say backpacker era, it's just something they hear, but like to have lived the true backpacker era in New York City as a backpacker, I mean, call us corny all y'all want now at this point, man, but that shit was beautiful, man. Like walking around with your backpack.
Corny.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was a beautiful time, man. That backpack rap was
But you want to, when we talking like vibe and shit like that, when you said that,
talk about vibe.
As soon as you said that, it immediately made me think downtown Brooklyn, Fulton Street, Beach Street,
Albee Square Mall.
You had to walk around with your head on your ones and twos. You couldn't be downtown Brooklyn right now where you could walk with your head in the clouds.
No, not at all. That shit is Disneyland now.
I mean, I respect and love the fact that it's a safe place to be.
Yeah, but now,
But
Albee Square Mall was
you couldn't like that element of danger made you feel away too. Like it made you feel away. And again, luckily, fortunately for me and my peoples, whenever we went out there, and we always went out there to go record shopping. We was always, because we was, doing parties and shit like that back in the day. We was always out there record shopping.
Mm-hmm.
That vibe
Mm-hmm.
of going in that basement. Sometimes that basement was hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you was able
You
to
talk about B Street?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the twins, the twins that worked there, you remember the twins? There was two twin girls that worked out in the basement.
I think so. But I like, I'm picturing that right now as I look down in my house right now. Like, I'm picturing how walking in there, you go down the stairs.
Yeah.
Register was right there to the left.
It was the jewelry spot, right? Remember? They sold jewelry, fake jewelry up on the top of
that was upstairs. That was upstairs.
Then you had to walk down.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
We was straight downstairs to the records. You walked straight
Like
back, and you had the certain joints. The walls came out in a certain way. Then it cut to the corner one way. Then you had the back room in the corner that was like a sound booth where they had the reggae joints and the DJ played in the back, but the reggae joints was next to it. Man, listen,
B Street was the shit, man.
We'll be here all night, man. But just like we just wanted to go over some of the labels that we found where the rosters. I mean, we didn't even clearly go over rosters, but it was just a vibe and a feel that we had of the Duck Down one was just like, okay, perfect way to close that segment out.
Yes.
Now it's on the UT. Last segment of the show. What did you want to get into tonight?
Last segment, man. I had did a post earlier that I just wanted to talk to you guys about, and it was, what are the songs that are the DNA of hip hop? Not the songs that just had the hot beat that we all remember and boom boom, but like, if you talk about hip hop on any level in any part of the country, any part of the world, the hip, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Everybody remembers that. You understand what I'm saying? What are those songs that are? I don't remember his name, but he said Chris Walker. He said that, some of the songs he was posting in the post that I did were the vertebrae. So he brought that whole idea of, okay, what are the parts of the body and what song represents that? And one specific one was The Bridge Is Over, right? And he said vertebrae. And I was like, I connected that because you really connect that song is really part of the spine of hip hop. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you think about before that, KRS-One took the battle to a whole nother level, but it was brute man strength that he, was motivating him, ego, boom, boom. You understand what I'm saying? That motivated him to make that.
It gave the Bronx that spine, if you want to say, in the back of
But it gave the culture a spine because everybody after that had to go on top of what he was doing. You understand what I'm saying? Before Bridge Is Over, could you really say that level of diss and strike at somebody happened on that level till he kind of did that?
Well, so I wanted to throw it to Ian first, but I got one right away. Since we're talking in body parts, the heart.
Yes.
You might know where I'm going with this one. This is an argument that we had at the barbecue next door at my parents' house some years ago, maybe about 2013-ish or so. Ian, I think he was there.
Mm-hmm.
When we was discussing, and we discussed this with you too, T. P-Rock, CL Smooth, Troy, is the heart.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Is the heart of hip hop. The great, possibly, I think I still stand on it to this day. The greatest song that represents the culture. Unfortunately, it was in respects and honor to an untimely death.
T-Roy.
But
Nicole,
the whole soul of it, the beat, everything was that is the heart of the culture, because you could dance to it, you could just sit back and bop to it, you could ride to it, you could almost play it anywhere.
She was the one. Nicole was the one that posted that in that post too.
I didn't read it, but it was big up. Shout outs to Nicole.
To add to what you were saying though, you feel the same exact way every time you hear the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time you hear the intro, I think you feel the same. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I think a good general amount of people who hear that song hear it the same exact way from when they heard it back when it came out in the 90s. And it still holds that same sentiment. It sets you up for the mood and vibe that it wants you to be in to listen to it. And I mean, at the end of the day, Pete Rock, horns.
Right.
Master of horns. You get what I'm saying?
Soul samples.
Yeah.
Ian, you'll go. Pick a body part, pick a track.
Oh. I don't know. I've been thinking about it for a while. I don't know. Because me personally, I always think about the message.
The message of a song, or the message?
The message.
The song, the message.
Yeah, the song, yeah.
Okay, the song message. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's at its core.
That kind of goes, kind of goes to the brain.
Yeah.
Because, the message, when you think about it, it besides invoking and bringing on thought to what was going on in the streets and stuff at that time, like it's a thinking record that still makes you, get up and all that stuff,
If there's ever a thing where,
it's
like where if there's ever a visual that shows that time, that era, that song is a must reference,
right?
To epitomize what the feel was of that era.
That era,
right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And where hip hop, as far as the culture, was birthed out of. It was birthed out of the lack of. It was birthed out of rebellion. It was birthed out of community, for having what little you have, but still being thankful for what you got. It was built out of, like you said, community, neighborhood. Again, we're gonna have it in the guest talk, but unity, as far as unity and neighborhood, it the Bronx was always a Black and Latino place, space. Even some of the quote unquote rebellious white kids was always down up in those areas and those circles when this whole culture came about. Yes, it was created from us Black folks, but when people hate when I say it, but it was always all inclusive.
Yeah.
And something like that video, in some respects, described just, again, community and everything, broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the corner, and just don't care. Like they doesn't describing just a set of people, like just describing the circumstances of how everything was at that time. Yeah. And when you think back on that, you gotta encompass all of, again, rebellious youth who was a part of that and built that amongst all of that chaos and rubble that was the South Bronx at that time. So
even if that song is still played, you still get the visuals of that video.
Yo, to close it out, I would shout out to the woman MCs. I don't know if you can't say females anymore, but shout out to the lady MCs. I put Paper Thin in there. MC like Paper Thin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That to me, the reason why I would put that in is because to me, that's probably the first hardest. Roxanne Shante, boom, boom, boom. But to me, Brooklyn Kid, boom, boom, Paper Thin, MC Light was like the first true hard woman MC
right.
record. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I said, Roxanne Shante, you know them, but those were kind of like, they were the hardcore commercial levels. I don't even want to say that's a bad word, commercial, but Paper Thin was like, that hit me a whole other way. You know what I'm saying? It really set up a lineage of hard female MCs for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They boss and not for nothing, even when Salt Pepper first came out, you know, they was kind of hard. Like, you know, Everybody Get Up was a hard record to me, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like Paper Thin, MC Light, you put that shit on right now, you put them first, what is that, strings or whatever that is, you know, when that song start off, I think you get the same reaction every single time.
And now I'm gonna make this one go left to really just to cap off the rest of the body.
Yeah.
Go to the feet and the legs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dance, but you still got to move a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hate this or love this? Well, there's no hate in this one. Pick a joint from Heavy D.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we found love, you want to
our own thing.
Bring another piece of soulness, but also make you move your feet. Can play anywhere. Pick a track from Heavy D.
Mr. Big Stuff.
And you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Kid and Plays.
Yep, Getting Funky.
Ooh.
Getting Funky.
Which one?
Getting Funky.
The one with the video. No, oh yeah. No. Ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Oh, that wasn't that from the movie? Was it from House Party? Or that was
I don't remember.
Yeah. Or what is that? The Class Act?
Yeah, well, Class Act. That Class Act is a classic. We're gonna talk about hip hop and film eventually, but I mean,
dancing. We want to talk about.
You could go with, or you bring it to the classic joint that merged two worlds together. Jungle Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll House You.
I'll House You. That song right there, ushered. That was the synthesis between house music and hip hop.
Yeah.
I think that was the first real true synthesis of house music and hip hop.
Yeah. Well, as they tried to call it, hip house.
Hip house.
They tried to call it hip house. But like those are the ways that I would go, just on like we're constructing a body level of perfect for hip hop. Yeah. Heavy D, Kid and Play, Jungle Brothers, get you move your feet no matter what. Get your grandmother to get up. You know, our parents who said they hated rap until they heard a Heavy D. Or heard or seen the Chris.
Yo, since you said that, is Heavy D, is Drake the lineage of Heavy D?
Well, right off the
people were tying him to LL.
The big white elephant in the room is the light-skinnedness. But
I see Drake an extension of Heavy D, where Heavy D would have probably went. Everybody.
You know what? We're talking it now. We're not going to dive too much deeper into that.
Yeah.
We're going to save that post and pin it tomorrow. Everybody,
I hear what people got to say about that.
Everybody who's checking us out, we're going to put that up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we got to talk. And all y'all crab ass old heads that think with. Just do yourself a favor. Just shut the fuck up and don't join in the conversation if you're going to be an asshole, especially towards Drake. Please don't. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the kid's music, but I've turned around on him over the years. The boy is nice. He can rap. There's no question about that. Yeah. But then you got to put all the intangibles into effect. You want to talk about hits like we mentioned before. He's got them. You want to talk about having an appeal to the masses, festival crowd, as you mentioned before. You got that. Global citizen. People want to hate. People hated on a person like him, and like, you know, oh no, they used to hate on Jay-Z for being around these people and adapting to their style, and that's how you evolve your styles from being around others. Drake has been doing that somewhat successfully. He's tried the reggae thing. stay away from the patois, but made a hit in that.
Yeah.
He's been not an early adopter, especially not as early as the adopters as me and Ian, but he's been an adopter of the grime scene, heavy in the UK.
Yeah, yeah.
And they respect him and like him over there. Do you want to talk about a true global citizen in this culture and all around Renaissance? Got like hate on whatever, you know, you could hate on that 2C slide that he put out.
Yeah, that shit's garbage.
But that, but that kid, he's something special and something that we should respect. You don't have to like him, but respect.
Do you remember there was I don't know if I did it or somebody else did the post, and it was the graphic of the records that were top number ones, and for like even from like the beginning of the music industry and stuff like that. And you saw how it was like the Eagles, and it was the Beatles, and then it was all these other people, and then like, you know, Jay came up, went, the graph was like lines, and all you just saw all artists keep coming up and stuff like that, right? So Rihanna came in, stayed there, like. Then Drake came in and stayed there. Like, you talk about years are going by. I'm talking about, this happened with Michael Jackson too. So you saw Michael Jackson just pop up through her and just stay, and then like everybody was here and Michael was over here. You know, and that lasted for like 15 years, and then it came back around. Hip hop started coming in. You started seeing Lil Wayne and all the people pop in, but then you saw Drake come in, and they just stayed there. You know what I'm saying? And the only two people that stayed that longevity like that outside of back in the days was Drake and Rihanna.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about like 10-year runs.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, he's special. He's got a knack and knows how to reinvent himself. Easily knows how to market himself. You know, whatever hits you throw at him, he's found a way to overcome. Like, you know, Pusha T, and to me, I wasn't digging the battle track. It was kind of, to me, it was half-assed. I know people loved it, whatever. Not debating that right now. But he was able to overcome that and still be, while Pusha T still rapping about coke sales. Drake was able to go here, there, did what he did to Meek Mill, make a battle rap record, a club song, just like how you was able to play Takeover in the club and have people dancing to it. Ether, you was able to play it, but not so much as Takeover. The kid is so versatile. I mean, even down to he gives mad love and respect and gets it back in the battle rap world. You know, he would show up to events, go to events, sponsor KOTD events, shit like that. Like, Ian, you remember this kid coming up was heavily down with the Justice League. And was fully influenced by Fonte. Fully influenced by Fonte.
Shout out to my homie Fonte.
So this kid, he isn't all around, with the exception of possibly not DJing in. But as far as the rap is concerned, he's an all around person of this culture.
Well, we'll do a Drake episode.
We did a lot of we're gonna do this.
Let's see how left that one goes.
Yeah, but you know, the kid needs respect. But we're gonna talk about that tomorrow in the group Friday.
All right.
Heavy D Drake connection. Where do we see it? How do you see it? You want to call bullshit?
I see it.
Bullshit.
I see it.
No,
hey,
but
you know,
bringing the point up, I get it.
I'm saying he's lineage. I'm not saying he's influenced by
copy, not like.
But yeah, he's when you talk about lineage, you talk about Heavy D, LL, right, slaying that foundation, and then that's they what they say, they jump so Drake can fly. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like he's an offspring of them. He's the offspring of the rapper your mama and daddy can listen to.
Yeah.
We'll get into more of that tomorrow. We'll put that to the group and see what they feel about it. They can listen to the recording of this, as it'll remain in the group after we sign off, which we're gonna do right now. So
everybody comment, you know.
Ian, you know what to do. Please, everybody, watch the recording of this. Leave your comments. We'll still read them. Please send in that music, hhdgmedia@gmail.com. I'm sorry to jump ahead of you. I did just throw it to you, but let me just keep going while I'm rolling. The website's coming soon, hhdgmedia.com. It's on. We're working on it. We already described an event that we might be working on, but we're going to be working on stuff once this Rona shutdown starts to clear up and people come back to their senses of wanting to be next to people. We're going to be bringing shit back like that to y'all, the people, because hip hop needs it. We described a bunch of voids that have been left that we can fill easily.
Yeah.
We're going to fill easily.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Make sure if you got anybody that wants to join the group that you co-sign that is not an asshole, please let us admins know. We can add them into the group. Also, if you don't mind, follow my other podcast, the Starting Five podcast, as you see the logo in the back. Please come to the Starting Five podcast group, join the group, be a part of our live shows every Wednesday night. We have fun there. Also, we upload the shows to all of the podcast streaming platforms. So hit up the starting5podcast.com, click the Starting Five link at the top, follow our Instagram at the Starting5_podcast. Ian, take it away.
Once again, we make music. Be in tune for anything that HHDG got coming up soon. We got a lot more in store.
We got to get your audio fixed next episode, just to let you know. T, you know what to do.
Yeah, so y'all can follow me on my social media. Instagram is at tsmith, TEESMIF, and the Smithsonian, SMIFSONIAN, Smithsonian. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, so Smith is Smith. My last name is Smith. All right, but go to my YouTube channel, the Smithsonian. Everything I do is under the Smithsonian. All right, and y'all can catch me right here on HHDG talking shit.
You did it again. You fucking it up and you wearing it on your chest. But anyway,
it's all about chest, but I had to look into my brain cells.
With that being said, for T, for Ian, for KB, for Ed, Skelly Tops, it's your boy the Mayor. Say peace. See y'all next week.
2 up, 2 down.
HHDG.